Welcome back, guys, to part 2 of the farm clicker, and we will be finishing up our coding for this project. So now we're actually going to code the dogs, and it's about the same with the hens. It's almost the same, but we have to change some stuff. So we're going to drag this to the dogs, some of that, all of that, and we're actually going to go to the dogs, pick up all this code. And let's start with this one. So instead, when the green flag is clicked, instead of going to the same position as the hen, you have to go to Y15, so there's a difference. And then instead of making hens owned, you have to make a variable called dogs owned. So dogs owned to 0, of course you start with no dogs. And then when the sprite is clicked, instead of 50, it is actually going to be, so instead of 50, it's actually going to be 350 because dogs are 350, and we're going to put 350 for that one. And then the maximum cap for dogs is going to be 100. You can vary that, of course, and then it will change money by minus 350, and then it will change, instead of hens owned, dogs owned by 1, and then instead of broadcasting bot hen, it will be bot dog. And then we have same with this one. And then instead of receiving bot hen, it'll actually bot dog. And then forever, it'll change money by. So actually, I put some differences in dog. We're gonna actually have a multiplication sign over here, and we're gonna go dogs owned. Change money by dogs owned times pick random 1 to 5, so it'll give you 1 to 5 every 1 second. So we have some differences there. And instead of hens owned, of course, I forgot to change this. It's actually going to be dogs owned. Sorry if I did not notice that. And yeah, I think we're good. So I'm going to show you how the dogs work. So instead, I'm going to change my money by 350. So I have some money in the beginning. And now we're actually going to buy dog, and you see it's working. It's giving me a random amount of money every second from 1 to 5. So now we have that finished. We're going to move on to the horse, which is relatively similar to the dogs. So we just have to move everything to the horse and basically give it its own stuff again. So let's work on this horse. So we're going to have all of that. So when the green flag click, have that. And instead of dogs owned, of course, it's going to be horses owned. And change this to horses owned. Oopsies. Horses owned to 0. Oh yeah, I can't forget. You have to right click on the, double click. Why did I keep messing that up? And then move it over here. And we're actually going to change this to set horses to own. And then when this sprite clicked, if money equals 550, because horses are 550, or money is greater than 550, and instead of dogs owned, it's going to be horses owned, and it's the max cap for this one 75. Then it'll start sound glug, and then it'll change money by minus 550. Then it'll change, of course, horses owned by 1, and then instead of bot dog, it's going to be bot horse. And now we have that finished. It'll go to here, and then we're going to go bot horse forever. Instead, we're going to use something else. And now we're actually going to put a multiplication sign. It'll change money by horses owned times 35. So yeah. And now I think we have finished the horse. And now we're actually going to move on to the llama. And we're going to drag all of that to the llama. And we're going to go to the llama and code it from there. So we're going to go to the llama. Then let's increase the size a bit. So instead of using horses owned, of course, if you use llamas owned. And then we're going to change horses owned to llamas owned to 0. And then when the sprite clicked, if the money is equal to 1,200, or the money is less than 1,200, I mean greater than 1,200, and then the maximum cap for this one's actually going to be 50, and we're going to change this to llamas owned, is less than 50, and then start sound glug, and then change money by minus 1,200, and change llamas owned by 1. Instead of broadcasting bot horse, it's going to be bot llama, and instead it'll be broadcast, and it's the same for the rest of them. And then we move on to here, and then you can adjust accordingly on the money, of course. And then instead we're actually going to change this to llamas owned. So instead of giving you $35, it's going to give you $60. Of course, you can adjust this, and this is going to be every 2 seconds. I noticed that llamas actually don't have value, so we're actually going to change this to 80, not 60. Of course, you can change that accordingly, and we're going to change this to bot llama up here. So I think this is the llama code right here, so feel free to pause. And now we're going to work on the world record. Actually, we're going to save the world record for the second part. Well, this is going to be the second part. So we will do the world record last. So we're actually going to move on to the hoe. So we're actually going to see the costumes, and this is the hoe before you buy it. And you can see how much multiplier it gives you and the cost. And this is the equipped version, and it'll say multiplier, and it'll have the green ones to show you have equipped it. And then for this one, you have, this is when you're not equipped it, but you bought it. So let's work on the hoe. We're going to start with the green flag. When the green flag is clicked, it will set hoe bot. Well, of course, we have to make a new variable. Just a lot of these variables. Hoe bot to n actually, because we have not bought the hoe. And then it will go to the front layer. Where are you? There you go. And then switch costume to hoe, which is the original one, because you haven't bought it yet. And yeah. And then it'll go to X. So we already have this position down here, a little reserved spot. And then we're going to actually have, when this sprite clicked, it's going to be, you need a if then else. I think we're actually going to take the code from before. I think that's really similar. We're just going to compare them. So yeah, let's just move this over here. Uh-oh, that's a little big. So when this sprite clicked, if money is, oh yeah, first we have to check if you even bought it. So we're actually gonna take this, and if hoe bot equals n, then it will, so if you haven't bought the hoe yet, then it will, I think this is not that similar. So it will, you need if then else right here. If then else, you need an or. So you need the money that equals 250. So we're actually going to change if the money equals 250, or we're going to duplicate this. Wait, actually we don't. You actually need this one. So, or the money is greater than 250. And then that means we'll have this, and then it'll set hoe bot to Y, because now you bought the hoe. And now it will start sound glug. Well, we could use pop. It really doesn't matter to signify you bought the thing. And now it will change money. So change money by minus 250. Oops, 250, because that's how much it'll deduct. And then now it'll set CPS to 2. So for every click you'll click on the little chicken, it'll give you 2. And then it'll switch costume to hoe EQ, because it's the equipped green one. and then it'll broadcast equipped hoe. Equipped hoe. And then else it will broadcast you do not have enough money to buy this. And then under this else, it will set CPS to 2 and then switch costume to Hoe EQ, and it'll also broadcast equipped hoe. That's correct. So we're actually going to come back to this one later, and we're actually going to drag this to the rest of them because these buttons are real similar to each other. And let's work on the wheelbarrow now. So the wheelbarrow, when the green flag is clicked. So we actually have some more code for each of the buttons afterwards, so we'll be going back to those later. And we'll make a new new variable called wheelbarrow bot to confirm if you bought it or not. And then it'll set wheelbarrow bot to N because you have not bought it yet. And it'll go to the front layer and do all that good stuff. And then when this sprite is clicked, if wheelbarrow bot equals N, and then if money equals 600, because you need 600 to buy the wheelbarrow, or money is greater than 600, then it will set wheelbarrow bot to Y. Now you have bought in the wheelbarrow. And it will start sound pop, and then change money by minus 600 instead of minus 250, and then set CPS to 10, so you get 10 per click now. So that's a pretty good deal. And then switch costume to wheelbarrow EQ. And now it will also broadcast a new variable, broadcast new variable called equipped wheelbarrow. Pretty hard for word to spell. And then you don't have enough money to buy this over here. And then set CPS to 10. And then switch costume to hoe, and instead of hoe, wheelbarrow EQ. And then broadcast equipped wheelbarrow over here. Now we're going to do the tractor. So the code is quite similar. I think you already know what's going to happen. So let's go to the tractor. And then when the green flag is clicked, it'll be tractor bot instead. So make a new variable, tractor. I always mess up on the spelling. Tractor bot. And then no, I should be tractor bot to N. And instead of negative, we're actually going to change the X to 13 and the Y to negative 150. I actually don't even think I changed this one yet. I'm sorry. But go back to the wheelbarrow, and then instead of negative 190, because that's supposed to be the negative 89. So we have positive 13 and negative 150 right here. And then when this sprite clicked, instead of wheelbarrow bot, I think you know what's going to happen. It's going to be tractor bot. And so equals N, money equals 2,500, 500, and then 2,500, as well as set tractor bot to Y. Tractor EQ, and a broadcast equipped tractor. And then you don't have enough money to buy this, and then it'll set CPS to 100 now. Tractor EQ, and then equip tractor. I think that's the code for that. Oh, and sorry, this is not 2,500, it's negative 2,500 because you're taking away money. And yes, we also have to change the CPS to 100. Sorry if I did not notice that. And now we will move on back to the hoe, and we're actually going to go, when I receive equipped wheelbarrow, because you cannot equip two tools at once, you need a if then else, if then else, if then else the hoe. So you need this one, you need equals N, and you need a hoe bot equals N. Then it will switch costume to hoe, else, it'll switch costume to Hoe owned. Basically, changing it back if you don't have the hoe, and if you have the wheelbarrow. And same with the tractor. Equip tractor, and then if Hoebot equals N, then switch costume to Hoe, and then I'll switch costume to Hoe owned. Cool. Now we're going to move this to the wheelbarrow and the tractor, so move this to the wheelbarrow, and move this one to the wheelbarrow too. And I think you know what's going to happen. So when I receive, instead of equipped wheelbarrow, this one's going to be the opposites. So equipped hoe, this one's going to be equipped tractor. So this one's going to stay like that. Instead of Hoebot, this is going to be wheelbarrow bot. Same with this one. We'll have to switch costume to wheelbarrow, and this one to wheelbarrow owned, and this one to tractor, and same with this one, wheelbarrow owned. And now we're going to do it for the tractor, last but not least. Right here. And then I think you know what's about to happen. So equipped hoe, this one's going to stay. And instead is going to be tractor bot equals N, switch costume to tractor. And this one's going to be tractor owned. And then this is going to be equipped wheelbarrow. And then if it is tractor bot, then it's going to be N and switch costume to tractor, and then switch costume to tractor owned. So these are basically all the combinations that you can get. Our last things to do is the world record and the music. So we're actually gonna right click on this, move it to the llamas owned. Not right click, I always mess this up. Double click on this one. I think this is horses owned, right? So this is gonna be horses owned. Double click and then put it right over here. And then for this one, we're actually gonna hide Hoebot, wheelbarrow bot, and tractor bot. I just started the game, and I'm sorry, I forgot to change the position for the horse and llama. That is very stupid of me. So we're actually gonna change the horse position to -50 for Y, and then for the llamas, it's actually gonna be -110. And we should have everything positioned greatly. And yeah, we have everything like that. Cool. Now let's work on the world record. So this one's quite confusing. So we're gonna put a little quick demo for what we have right now. So you see when the green flag's clicked, we can give all of that. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit of money so I can show you the tools. So now we're gonna give ourselves some money. So we're gonna go here. Let's just give ourselves like $10,000. So, oopsies, $10,000. So we started this game. Let's give ourselves $10,000. And now we're gonna buy the tools. You see, it says we have equipped. And let's buy the wheelbarrow and the hoe. It'll give you 2. This one, it will give you 10, and then this one will give you 100. So it does seem to be working. That's cool. So now we're gonna move into the world record. It's really similar to the money. So let's do that. We're actually going to go to the money and drag all of these to the world record. There are going to be some differences, so be aware of that. And now we have all of this over here. Let's work on the world record. So when the green flag is clicked, it'll hide. There's no money included, so you delete that little chunk over there. And then when I receive start game, it'll actually instead wait 1 second and then hide before you go to X190, Y150. So this is going to be a little bit higher than the other one. And then it'll set number to 0. And then instead of money number clone, it's going to be WRN clone. And we're going to change this to WRN clone 0. And then forever, it'll wait until this is going to be WRN clone is less than length of, so we need to make a variable, a cloud one. So click on this one, and we're going to name it world record. So now we're going to put it like that. And now we have our world record variable. And over here, we're instead of length of money, it's going to be length of world record. It'll change number by 1 and change world record clone instead of by 1 instead of the other one. And then it'll create clone of myself and change x by -20. Then when we move on to here, when I start as a clone, it'll show and forever if number is greater than length of world record with the cloud variable, it'll hide, else it'll switch cost a show, and it'll also first switch costume to letter length of world record instead, minus number minus 1 of world record. And you have to add one piece of additional code over here. So when the green flag is clicked, forever, you need an if-then statement. If then the money is greater than world record, so if you beat the world record, then it will set world record to money. And now that's basically what we have here. Okay, so I'm going to do some little testing over here. So we're actually going to change the world record by let's just go set world record to 25. So that's going to be the world record. So let's set it to 25. So 25 right here. So now the world record is 25. Let's see if it works or not. So let's just click until 25. It will not take that long. And then if I get 26, that's the new world record. So that's basically how the world record function works. So I forgot actually to change this part. So go back to the tools, and then you might have already noticed this, but I'm sorry, but I did not change this to the correspondent tool. And we're actually going to change this one to tractor and this one to wheelbarrow. So just for information. So I think it should work now. And yeah, we have our tools up and going like that. So cool. And we're actually going to hide our WRN clone in our world record because it already says it over here. So now we basically have it done except for the music. So we're going to go to over here, and then when the green flag is clicked, we'll go switch costume to farm, switch backdrop to farm, my bad, and then forever it will play this song because it's really good until done. And of course you can use any song you want, and if you haven't noticed, we have actually added this extra WR text next to the farm to indicate the world record is up here. So that's basically how we have it here. So I think I'm finished here, and let's try the game, and let's see if I can hear the music. So you see we do have music. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. And then we have our chicken. If you click it, it gives us score. You can see the little visual effects plus the glow effect that we did earlier, as well as the chicken turning. And we can see the chicks raining down. I think the hens are gonna actually work here. And we're gonna buy a hen. And it looks like it works. It'll probably work for all the other ones too. So I'm gonna do some grinding off camera. So I did some grinding off camera, and I got our the stuff, and it seems to be working fine. And it looks like we're about done here. And I'll have the Sprite one shared so you guys can download it from that one as well. So you guys can make your own, remix that downloaded one, that one with the sprites, and you guys can use that for your own game. And If you haven't seen on the demo, I also have these mega troops on this side, but I'm not doing it a part of this tutorial because it's just the same thing with this one, but I just changed the background a little bit and changed the money, of course. So that's it for this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below what else projects you want. And this is actually a subscriber idea that we took from the comment section, and maybe one day you'll find one of your ideas up on our channel. So yeah, if you learned something, give us a favorite on our project. So Gumball098. You can also check out my project. I will update the original farm clicker that I have put on my profile, and I will update it once in a while for extra buffs and nerfs to the cards or adding new cards in the game. So anyway, please like, share, subscribe, and comment, of course, and see you guys next time.